I have some friends from Nepal, and Matthew helped me on a very mundane task. We moved some furniture from another friend to the Nepalis. Matthew and I filled up a 19-foot long box truck, and let me say he did most of the work. And we took a load of furniture and bedding and clothing and all kinds of things for these people from Nepal that I work with. And then I started to work with Mark and Ellie. And I've been primarily a financial supporter. I'd love to have the time to travel overseas, and that might be something that comes down the road in retirement. I'd love to go to Nepal. I'd love to go to Vietnam and all these other places that I hear Mark goes to, and I hear the stories of how he's gone for months at a time. I don't know Mark as well as I know Matthew and Ellie, because Mark is on the road. He must be on the road 40 weeks out of the year. So I've offered to buy his frequent flyer miles, but I haven't had any time. Haven't had any success with that yet. If you ask Mark, he'll tell you, but mainly he leads by example. He's a very hard worker. He travels to the four corners of the world trying to help people that need help. And I think in turn he's hoping that he can turn them into believing Christians through his example. I guess it's something that most of us take for granted. Most of us that were born Christian, something that I've probably taken for granted. I can't imagine being brought up with no religion, or a different kind of religion where maybe you have a different kind of God or a couple of gods. Here comes Mark or Matthew or Ellie, and their God is a forgiving God and a generous God, as opposed to a fearful God or a God of nature or something like that. Mark and Matthew and Ellie are very gentle people. They're very humble people. Mark's very persuasive, but he's not invasive. My hat's off to all of them for working so hard. It's a day-to-day process. I have a friend who has high blood sugar, and he says tomorrow's another day. And if today you had a bad day, tomorrow you start over and you try to have a good day. And I see trying to be a good person is very similar to that. Some days are bad. Hopefully tomorrow's a better day. I'd love to have the time to travel and volunteer. I've done that in the past when I was a young kid. Right now, I'm working for my family, trying to help Mark and Ellie with their vision. So I view my role as one of financial support because I have the ability to do that. If I had time, I would give time, but I don't have time and I can't travel. So at this point in my life, financial support is the way I can help. I don't know what kind of rate of return I'd have on my investment. Time will tell. But sometimes you do good things for selfish purposes. When I see the children that get supported and the newsletter that Mark and Ellie put out, and the fact that it's so inexpensive to start a farm in Cambodia or Laos or Vietnam, some of these countries where the people don't have the luxury like you and I of just going to the refrigerator and opening it and having so many choices. Their choices are very limited. So to teach them or give them the ability financially to grow their own food, to build a school, all the things that we take for granted, I'm going to have to say I probably do it for a selfish reason. It makes me feel good that I at least have the ability to help them financially. I'd have to say I have a lot of respect for Mark and Ellie because I work a lot of hours. I enjoy work, and almost always when I come here, the lights are on. Depending on what time you come, they might be helping somebody in Vietnam, depending on what time it is there, or in Nepal, depending on what time it is there. I know Ellie's constantly here doing the books and the communications, and Matthew, when he's in the country, he's here all the time. There's always somebody here because there's always something that needs to be done.
Coming soon.
Amen. Before that trumpet.
Yeah.
Amen. It's all over at the trumpet.
If that trumpet is a big boom, then look out, buddy. I'll tell you, God is dealing with this nation.
Only one hope.
Hey, thanks again for watching this episode. Until our next episode of Revelations, may you and your families be blessed.
An absolutely must-see.